This is a ticket to the party.
Evening, boys. First service. You gotta love Mohammed.
Oh! That is a moment of absolute magic from Federer.
It's Murray magic, though.
Djokovic, what are you doing? He's got quite a large gluteus maximus.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the most anticipated, sought after, looked out for podcast on the airwaves. Boys, how are we all doing?
Buzzing off the tree, so anticipated for this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it's a day late.
Podcast. I thought you were doing Impulsive.
Wait, oh, God.
Giving us the
Quick
big
for
build-up.
20 past 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's an early start again, boys.
I wasn't here last week. I had a great listen to your thoughts for the Australian Open coming up. Obviously, you missed out my predictions last week, so I thought we could just start really quickly with mine before we go into how you guys have all been doing. So I was just thinking, I think I'll kind of go a wee bit deeper into it because no one cares about first round matches anymore. I see Sinner putting Rune out, some maybe 4 sets, 3-1 or something like that. I see, looking at it, Monfils having a decent run, but I can imagine him getting injured. I just can't see him competing at that level for the whole time. Where else does the draw go? Oh, Djokovic could get Alcaraz. I backed him at the start of the year, and I'm going to say Djokovic beats him in 4 sets. I'll go down that route. 4 sets, Djokovic. And on the women's side, I'll have Danielle Collins to be the most healed person we've ever met in our life.
Whoa, great predictions, Pricey.
Great prediction.
Fantastic.
So what's
man.
actually happened, lads? I've not seen any of it.
Well, it's been a belter. I think it's been an absolute cracker of a start to the year. Definitely started off as a youngsters tournament.
Yeah.
100%.
Yao Fonseca, Lerner Tien,
Mickelson.
Mickelson, all making massive strides. I thought, well, this is the year for the young boys. And then out of the blue, bang, Novak's like, fucking tranquilo, lads, tranquilo, settle. He's like, you'll have your time, man. And then he goes, bang again, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to come up with a nickname for this combination of Murray and Djokovic, like Mavax or something, or we're gonna have to come up with a way because it's Andy Murray's right in that guy's head. He's playing out his skin.
Oh,
The master tactician versus the GOAT. So they shouldn't really have any trouble, should they? Should be.
I know he's probably gutted he dropped a set to Alcaraz.
Nah, see, to be honest, at the end of that, so I watched that match recently. Obviously recently, it was today, it was last night for Callum. But I mean, I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb all day at work, and I came home and I thought, this is one of the most anticipated matches. I'm going to watch it start to finish. I just skipped through like 10 seconds between points. Unbelievable. See, at the end, I had full on The Rock goosebumps all over my body when Djokovic was like that, yeah, to Murray. Honestly, man, goosebumps all over. I was like, that was unbelievable. I loved it. And Murray's just like, yeah, man, yeah. He didn't know it goes back.
I think the way I knew it was an unbelievable match, I wasn't able to watch it because internet's not any good when we start sailing, and I was buzzing watching it come in flash scores. So, oh my god, no way! Like 30 love, and I was.
I could also, but see, because I had to watch it after the fact, so the match was already done when I started it, so I wasn't watching it on delay. I was watching the feed of it. So when I put it on, I seen it was 4 hours long, and I was like, okay, that's a 3-set match. It was going to be, because it is 20 minutes of the build-up and stuff, so I thought, right, it's too long to be 3 sets, it's too short to be 5 sets, it's going to be a 4 set, so whoever wins this third set wins the match. So when I saw Djokovic win it, I was like, I cannot believe this, he's winning it. So the last set, I was just like, how is he going to do it? I just knew it was going to happen.
He's the fucking best.
But it was fucking unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
you can see today, it's like in the wee margins. It's like that wee, like his second serve, he's taking a bit off it to get it in. Like you can just see what Murray's worked with him. It's all these little things you can just see throughout his game where he's taking an extra second here, all that stuff that just seems to be working. Like it must be.
I think it's clear and obvious that he can't rally with Alcaraz and Sinner. Like that, it can't. Every time it was an extended point, even if he won it, he just looked fucked. but he didn't win many extended points. He was going 20 k's bigger in his forehand than Alcaraz was in the second or third set. 20 k's bigger.
Yeah, did you boys not think Alcaraz was like not himself though? Like I felt like
he didn't look great, did he?
It's been a year we've been saying this.
That's been almost, well, maybe say 6 months. Tail end of last year and now, he's not himself. He's not like I know that's kind of just out of the blue, me saying that, but we've said it a lot recently. He's not been himself.
I'm sure I predicted in our predictions last year that Alcaraz would be highest ranking end of the year would be 5. I just think there's got to be a slump, and it could be this. But I also think what we've got to stop doing, I think this is a real problem in tennis as well. I think we've got to stop saying someone played bad. Right? Djokovic was unbelievable. And the aura the guy brings on court must put pressure on you. Like,
exactly.
You see him doing his limping about, and you're like, I'm fucked. Like, as soon as Djokovic has an injury, you're like, oh shit.
He also does this.
I can't win.
See out of nowhere where he just like hits a shot and then he falls over like 5 steps left. You're like, oh, you're in the zone now.
It's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that call an ambulance, but not for me.
Anthony get absolutely cooked in the group chat for this fucking comparison I'm about to make. Callum, don't take this to your head because it's big enough. I always think, see, when you're playing Djokovic, I can relate it to playing Callum. You don't ever want to be absolutely pumping him. You want to like make him think it's close. And because if you go like 5-2 up on Djokovic - Callum Roberts, he's going to just do this whirlwind and turn you around and beat you 5. Like, and I think it's the same with Djokovic. You want it tight. You never want to be beating him until you're beating him.
I think Djokovic has this like mentality of like he goes down and in the world. No, like when he was at Wimbledon, he lost the first set like 5 matches in a row. Like I think as if he wants the world to be against him. He's like, look what I can do, and when everyone thinks I've lost, and he just clicks in it. It's unbelievable. The way he was going inside.
Didn't he?
Aye, Channel 9 News.
Yep. He's got that. He's got them against him. He's the bad guy again.
Yeah. See if that didn't happen, I bet you he doesn't play as well. Like he's crazy how the guy just pulls things in, and he's like, I'll fucking win just to shut you up. And then that's what he does.
Yeah, the injury helped that as well. The injury was the adversity and also clarified a wee bit. He might have been doing it already, but it made him absolutely sure he has to be super aggressive in the second and third. Because he was saying in the interview, if he didn't win that second set, he might not have continued. He probably would have continued, but he might not have. But then you could feel Alcaraz wasn't as confident as him, so he thought, "Fuck, I'm going for it, foot down." And unbelievable.
Did you see Alcaraz do his the Djokovic injury at one of the crossovers? He just started limping about. I loved that.
Yeah. He's learning, man. He's only like 20. He's 21, right? So he's learning this from Djokovic. So in like 15 years, 16 years
so
time,
young, man.
He can do this to somebody.
Feels as if we've had him on the tour for ages.
We had a debate outside of the podcast about the standard of tennis from these young boys. I just think it's bollocks, to be fair. Like, Sinner and Alcaraz are incredible tennis players and would be comfortably inside the top 5-6 players in the world when Djokovic, Murray, Federer and Nadal were there. Like, they would still get, like, Sinner and Alcaraz would still get wins against these boys, and maybe they wouldn't have 2 and 4 slams, but they might both have 1. I think the debate is, to be fair, put together by 2 of the grumpiest men on earth, so I totally understand where it's coming from.
The one thing I will say is, if you put Sinner on a court against some of the ones that won Grand Slams, like Wawrinka, who else has won Grand Slams in that time? Cilic,
Del Potro.
3 sets.
Oh, I'm not having Del Potro. Good guy.
No, but Sinner.
Yeah, but Sinner smashes him though.
Sinner's read that comment out, or will we just?
Yeah, go. You should read it.
Yeah,
okay, this came from a listener who has actually also emailed in before with another negative view, so it's a bit on brand. I'll just read it for you now. If Djokovic wins this, which it looks like he will, what a sad indictment of the current generation of tennis players, and their golden boy gets cuffed by someone who could really be just enjoying his retirement. Really, really poor generation of tennis players. Ooh.
Do you know? See the guys that are coming through there now. Obviously, you've got Djokovic, Nadal, Murray, Federer. They all have an aura about them. These guys have got absolutely no aura. Like Callum
Agreed. Spot on.
Like nothing
Spot
to
on.
them at all. Callum done the impersonation of Sinner last week. Like, it sounds like Beaker, and it looks like Beaker from the Muppets. So
Yeah,
nothing.
nah. I quite
But it
like
takes
Rune
time.
at the start.
I get that.
It
but
takes
Nadal
time to
had an
build an
aura
aura,
at
man.
17,
Alcaraz
18
is
when he was playing
21.
at French.
I reckon people still go on court that aren't Djokovic, and they'll be nervous to play Alcaraz. People go on now and be like, fucking hell, I don't want to play Sinner, but it takes time to build an aura as a whole around media and stuff like that as well.
We're talking about Novak Djokovic, like arguably the greatest tennis player of all time, who has had adversity over adversity. He's had public thing in the public for more things than tennis. It is bigger than tennis, as in a personality, like Nadal and Federer were, like, or still are. It's like Djokovic is, of course, not going to have the same aura as him because he's fucking Djokovic. Like, that's it.
No, I don't think that they've got any aura at all, to be honest.
But aura is quite a big thing, to be fair.
Yeah,
I think we put aura on us as people, and like, nah, their aura, the tennis professional
but
athlete
you would have said LeBron James didn't have aura when he first 2 years into the league, and then look at now, he's been there for 20 years.
He did.
No, but I mean, compared to like came to MJ, like this is the thing. It's like, these new players don't have the same aura as Ronaldo and Messi.
They've got no intimidation factor.
It'll be the
I
same.
think they do. I think that's bollocks. Like,
I think guys go in the court with them and
within the sport they do.
Sinner.
I think people go on the court with Sinner and go, people go on the court with Sinner 100% just now and be like, I basically have to play lights out.
Because just to say, like, we're going to, because it's now, we all know it's Djokovic v Zverev in the semi-final. Zverev today didn't play great, but because of his intimidation factor, he came down from 2 sets where he should never have been in, never in a million years, and he won 2 tie breaks, one in love, because he had aura over Tommy Paul, who Tommy Paul has a record.
Yeah, I think Tommy Paul was like, holy shit, I've never been here before.
Yeah.
And Zverev was like, I'm the fucking second best player in the world right now.
See how you mentioned earlier about Djokovic losing first sets at Wimbledon 5 games in a row and then coming back to win. One of the boys who beat him in a first set of a game was Jacob Fernley. What a tournament for the young man.
Yeah, and he warmed Djokovic up yesterday.
Absolutely. Oh, did he?
All right.
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
He was
That's
Djokovic's
great.
hitting
That's
partner
great
before the match.
What's he up top 80 now in the world, isn't he? After that rerun.
Good on him, man. Like, that's, everyone said, you'd probably think second round you'd be disappointed, but that was so good for him, I thought, and I was actually buzzing for him. Don't know him at all, don't know anything really much about him, but good on him, man.
Third
round. Yeah, third round's massive. In a slam. You think third round any tournament? See, third round of a slam is massive to these guys. Outside top 25, it's like a real goal. Third round, fourth round onwards.
As the anti-British correspondent for the podcast, he's only one that I would actually give pass marks for the full tournament if you're British.
Jacob?
Mate, spot on. They're utter pish. All of them. One in love.
I would give Jack Draper pass marks. Just
I would give him a C. You wouldn't get a fucking B minus.
For me, he does well. He plays playing someone in a slam from where the slam is held is so tough. You see at Wimbledon how many Brits pull off mad victories, like fucking Liam Brody just starts becoming like best player in the world and like beats Casper Ruud and Rublev and stuff like that. Like, playing someone from the place where the Grand Slam is so hard, especially like Kokkinakis, when he's a fucking superstar here, man. Like, he's everywhere. So they come through that, they come through another Aussie as well. He does well.
Aussie tennis right there, by the way, if he's a superstar.
Mate, Australia have so many players. I was shouting them on.
So you were at it though, Cal, weren't you? How has it been over the days you were there? Was it fucking unbelievable?
It's a great atmosphere,
local
mate.
correspondent.
Compare it to Wimbledon on the spot.
Compare it to Wimbledon, it is a lot less tennis-like and a lot more alcohol-based.
That sounds rubbish. That sounds terrible.
So, I mean, it's full of Instagram influencers, and there's a big oval, and everyone just sits there and drinks, and sometimes the matches aren't well attended because everyone's just drinking instead.
So, just out of interest, is that a kind of thing you can just get a day ticket for, or
From
is it
5 o'clock
quite
onwards,
accessible?
from 5 o'clock onwards, it's $20, £10.
That's class. That's class. I think the ticket situation. I think because we're used to Wimbledon and it being like you need to be almost like in a club to get a ticket, unless you like go into debentures and just bypass stuff. You got to get lucky in a ballot to get a ticket. We're not used to like the other slams where you can actually just get a reasonably okay ticket and just go to it.
I could wake
Wimbledon's
up
a bit more
today
closed
and
club.
get a ticket for Sinner's match.
Yeah,
Like,
that's good. That's brilliant.
Bad and good.
Yeah,
bad
but it's
and good.
always busy.
So-
Like the first day there was 90,000 there. It was nuts.
How much
Yeah.
a
Speaking
pint?
of bad and good,
Ooh.
Danielle Collins, bad but great tennis player.
Yeah. Sorry,
to
can I
be
just
fair-
answer you? You don't do pints. Just do schooners.
Oh yeah, forgot. They can't handle it the same. Forgot. Yeah, her doing that, doing the big Hulk Hogan here. What an absolute bit of heel work that was.
And the
Yeah,
slap
she's
of
got a
the-
lot of pricey about her.
The kiss my ass. That
Oh.
was fantastic.
She does have a lot
She's
of
got
pricey,
so
doesn't
much pricey about her, man. It's unbelievable.
she? Oh, honestly, I was just watching it. I've even shown people on the boat who have absolutely no interest in me as a person or the tennis, and I go, that's quite cool.
Yeah, I think it kind of went a wee bit viral beyond tennis because everyone's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
love that. Like it's a bit the
That went viral in the Wii tennis animation of the
fuck,
matches
it
went
did.
viral.
Who's the player? Who's the player that did the
Genius by
backflip
AusOpen,
on the
man.
Wii tennis?
Yeah. Oh god, who was it?
It was
Was
Medvedev,
it Madison
was it
Keith
not?
or something?
No. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I'm pretty sure it was.
It was a
American player.
woman. A woman. She
Yeah, it was one
fell.
player.
She dropped her racket, and then the Wii character done a backflip, and,
Yeah,
and
and it
just got
just
stuck
hovered
in
in
like
there.
the crowd.
See when Medvedev was smashing the net against, was it Tien? I think he was smashing.
Yeah.
He's the
That's
wee tennis character was smashing the net. It's unreal.
I'd love to
That's
see.
great,
Remember
chat.
when Medvedev won and he started doing this, like your fish dance or whatever it was?
Yeah.
I'd love to have seen that. What do you think? That would have been
worried
brilliant. That's a
about him.
cracking idea.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it was a wet squib, a damp squib. What's the word?
Damn squib.
Damp squib.
I'm worried about
because
him.
I
I
thought
think
he.
he's.
Yeah, this is the fall off.
I think
Well,
so.
you all said. I said
Rublev
Tsitsipas
as well.
fall off. By
Yes.
the way, that was fucking round one, baby. Thank you very much.
He's fallen off, but his missus is doing the business, man. Beating Coco
Tell you
off.
what,
Yeah.
man,
Who?
I watched that match.
Badosa?
Badosa.
She bullied Goff. I know
Yeah.
Goff's forehand was like on the yips, but she proper bullied her.
She's
it was
fantastic,
quite-
isn't she, man?
Aye, and do you know what? Like she's got the power. Sabalenka, fair play to her, grinded through today as well. That'll be a good semi-final because if Badosa's on it, like she seems like she's
I
on
love-
it. She's like,
I love
They're not best
Sabalenka.
pals as well. I think they're
Yeah.
pretty tight, to be honest, yeah.
Mm.
I like the game.
I honestly love Sabalenka. I think personality for the game, top tier.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like the difference between her
Oh,
and
I was
Iga
gonna say-
Swiatek is night and day. Like
So
such a endearing personality. You want to watch her, and then you watch Iga, and I'm just like, oh my fucking god, please lose.
see, Iga is see how she's only dropped 4 games in the last 3 matches. Is it because she's a drugs cheat?
Oh,
Nah, she's just too
Can't-
fucking good, mate.
Thing is,
Well,
Skinny, you
she
said
said
that the day after WADA have dropped aren't pursuing it
I
anymore. So what WADA's come out and said, nah, she's fine, and Skinny's like, no, she's not.
Aye. No, it was
Fucking
just
just outside it.
no.
Fucking test her. Fucking test her, man. No fucking way.
all I'm saying is, I think we need to just keep an eye on that whole situation, not just Iga, but the rest of tennis, because we don't want
WADA
to have
watch.
WADA watch, yeah.
Well, tennis, if you're listening, Ross Skinner has implied a watching suggestion. And you should all be worried because
Doping
Skinny's
watch along.
out.
Doping, yeah.
Mark McGrath would be really good at that job. Drugs
He'd be
watch.
a great WADA guy. He'd be a fucking nightmare showing up at your door at 6 a.m. Pee. Like, what do you mean you can't pee?
He's Mark, our good
Well, I'm going to
friend,
fucking
is like-
watch you then.
And we get updates on whether one of our other friends is in or not because, like, well, your car's still outside, so where are you?
Yeah. Yeah, excuse me, we were out last night. Why is your car at the tennis club? Oh, fuck me, man.
Bit suspicious. Out at 8 o'clock.
You know, see the great thing about this? Mark used to say, "Oh, I never get a shout out on the podcast."
He's got a
The
full
last
segment.
2 or 3 times he's been absolutely rinsed. Brought up and fucking rinsed.
Boys, we've actually had a lot of debates recently. This is a bit of a jump to change topic. Pricey, you mentioned it before. On new rackets for this year. We've been enjoying having a little back and forth about rackets we used to use, and if we had to change what we would go to. I've been getting a bit of a hard time for seeing the new Yonex because everyone says it's a very feminine racket. But we're in 2025, so you can like whatever you want, except from if you're in America now.
Yeah.
Damn.
Not just America. There's a few places in the world.
I love the new Yonex. I think it's for me, the nicest racket of all time. Debate me.
The thing is, you
Have you
said
hit it?
that purely on colour. You've just looked at
Yeah.
this.
No, I've
nice
had
racket.
to hit with it as well.
Have you?
you?
Right.
I've had to hit with it. The rackets to hit with is nice. It's not like the best racket I've ever hit with, but just looks wise, I'm like, holy fuck, that is beautiful,
Well,
man.
I played on Sunday with a guy who tried the new Onyxes out, and it's the best I've seen him play in a long time. So, and he moved from a Clash to that Yonex, and it does look absolute cracker. So,
Thank you,
I'd love to give
Skinny.
it a go.
It's fucking beautiful, man.
I would love to give it a go.
We've never disagreed it's not gorgeous, but it's if you put lipstick in a pig, it doesn't get much better looking, does it?
No, but I think that's the thing. I think the racket, it's the control on it now compared to what it used to be like with Yonex. Yonex was quite flimsy. Like, well, what Roy was saying
Yonex is
the
just
control
fucking extremely powerful racket.
Yeah, he felt he had control on his power, which if the minute you get that, you're going towards like a pure drive, which I play with.
Yeah, well, what is our racket journey, Skinny? So you play with a pure drive?
Yeah, so
give us start to finish.
Yeah.
Give us start to finish.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was always Wilson. I remember T-Hammer was the last one before I went to the pure drive. And obviously I chucked tennis for 7-8 years, what it was, can't remember now. And when I came back, I used my old pure drive, and then just because I was enjoying hitting with them, and someone at the club when I was at London was like, they're like sold, mate. So I was like, well, I'll buy the new pure drives, and I've just kind of stuck with them because why not? But I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to go and change my racket. Really would.
Me too.
Just something to a bit more control. So a bit more like maybe
I think
a smaller racket head.
Just a shout for you boys. I think you boys should. Well, obviously, I'm not there, so I can't do it. I think you boys should take a day and go to West End and film yourselves doing 4 or 5 different rackets and give them a rating.
That's a good
I agree
idea.
with that. That'd be good fun.
Yeah, good shout actually.
That was a good shout.
And let me know when
Let's
you're
hear
next
yours. I'm
ones.
excited for this one.
On my journey, I think I started with
Just rackets, not as a person, man. Fucking
Not
hell.
life. We don't need to hear about New Zealand.
I don't have the next 12
I was
I
literally
was
just
like
about to
that.
say I went to New Zealand. How long ago was that? It was 7 years ago.
Stop.
Just nearly 7 years ago to the day I went to New Zealand. Actually, thanks for bringing it up, Gary.
Was
Actually,
it
you
just
know
for a
why?
week, wasn't it?
You know
It was
what
just for a
happened?
week, yeah.
I got when your phone messages you your photos app and says like, "Here's a memory." It messaged me just before we start recording. I'm out of memory. Right, my racket journey. I think I started with a head radical.
Wow.
I thought radical. I was a bit radical, so I thought, my game's radical, my racket's radical. The marketing really got me there. I remember going to Wimbledon.
How did this boy grow up in Port Glasgow, man? And live?
Oh, no. It's a minute.
By moving to Greenock.
yeah, did actually. Oh yeah. I went to Wimbledon 2009, and I remember I bought a Nadal racket. I bought Aero Pure Drive, Aero Drive, Aero. What's it called?
Mate,
Aero.
I'm sorry. You're a marketer's dream, like, or a major event seller's dream. You just go and merchandise everything, man. Just like, I'll buy that, thousands of pounds.
That's what it started,
just
man.
Fucking shite.
What I've got, honestly, right in this room, right, I've got this shirt on, which is Wimbledon. I've got I don't know why I've got 2 tins. I've got 2 tins of balls that were used at Wimbledon. I don't know what else I've got.
You've got the white version of that T-shirt.
Of course, I've got the white version, Gary. But what happened?
Hang on, I need Callum here. Do you remember when I first started coaching you, and Ross P was also a coach, and he came back from Wimbledon with 7 of the same trackies, one for each day?
Yeah, he came back and he had just bought replica of trackie, man.
That's what I do, man. You gotta get merch from places you go. You get a hat from where you go.
Love it.
You get trackies. You get a shirt. You get a racket. But I got a racket. And I couldn't fit it in my bag going through back in the plane. So I don't know how it got back. It got back to here somehow. So I had that. Didn't have it for long. I think it went back to head. And then I think it was head radical for a while actually when I had a 2-hander. And then I had got this Wilson. Oh no, I had a deal with Dunlop. So I had some
Dunlop's struggling that badly on tour that they've got, fuck it, we need to find some random guy that will play with a Dunlop.
Imagine what was expected by a racket. You said Ross P's face on it with Dunlops.
The best thing
the
about
stencil of the
stencil downhill going, I need to sell Sports Direct.
The best thing about it, they gave me merch as well. They gave me like hoodies and shirts and hats and shit. So I had Dunlop Strixon CX200 for a while. So I had that because it was free. So I thought, and I was plugging it. So I thought I'll need to use that for a while. So it was like a 5 or 6 year period at least where I wasn't actually like looking at a racket for myself. I just had one. So that I almost got a deal with Prince, and then COVID shut everything down. So I didn't get that. I was going to have a Prince racket. I have no idea what it would be called. And then I had a Wilson. So it looks like a Pro Staff, but it's not a Pro Staff. It's a prototype version of a Pro Staff with a larger head. It's called a Wilson Precision Pro Staff Precision, which is not my game, but it's version 1.0, and it's discontinued. So I bought it for like £80 from somewhere. So I've got a couple of them. But now this week I've fallen in love because Pricey, your racket has been hoarded out to the club. Basically, everyone's having a go on it. So I had a go. I know it's like fucking Bonnie Blue rackets, but I had a go with it. I don't know if I can cut that. I might have to cut that.
Nah, do it.
They're all grown ups.
I had a go with it on Monday, and honestly, it was unbelievable. It was so easy to actually. It wasn't easy to hit with, but it was like it wanted to go through the air a lot smoother than my Wilson, which is probably why that was a prototype version I found on basically like some dark tennis web.
I'm so sorry. This is an Australian Open recap. Like, story so far, and Ross B's taking 10 minutes talking about rackets journeys.
Honestly, 10 minutes. I've been looking at times I need to go to work, and I'm like, he's
right, Gary, go. Gary, go.
I don't know how to follow that up, but anyway,
I'm unattached. I'm unattached to rackets at the moment. On you go, Gary. So.
Plug yourself for a sponsorship, son. I had the Prince 03, then I got the club I was at. I had vocal sponsorship, so I got a Boris Becker racket. Funded that guy's criminal activities for a couple of years.
You had James Dixon.
What
was that?
I don't really know what was that.
I know. I saw that, Pricey. Don't you worry.
Then I went
for
on to...
listeners only, there was a double-handed hand job getting mined there, by the way, just in case. But you can watch this podcast, so you can see it.
Derailers, Ross B. I can't do another 29 minutes of this.
Then Head Radicals, and then Wilson Burns, Wilson Ultras, and then what did I have last? Pure Drive. No, what's the white one? Pure Strike.
Pure Strike.
But I'm anti-Babolat. I'm not a fan. That's 2 I've had. I had the Pure Drive years ago, and seeing the kind of corner where the frame is, like handle, and then up onto the actual frame is snapped twice on me without me smacking it about. So I won't get another Babolat, but I'm using a Head Extreme at the minute and quite like that.
I saw Gary.
Very good.
Gary Brown smash a racket and break it.
Oh yeah, that was
super.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Gary, very well done. Callum Roberts hit us with it.
Started with a Dunlop size 23. Started with a Dunlop size 23. Won the under.
When you were a kid, I suppose. Yeah.
No, I won the under 18s with it because Craig Brown told my dad that I didn't need a bigger size racket. Then I went to yep. And then I went to a Prince. Don't know what the Prince was, but it was red and green. Then I jumped from Prince to Radical, which I stayed with for about 10 years. Then decided on a fucking mental day, tough year of my life, and I went with a Wilson Burn. Worst decision of my life. Back to Radical, and then I went to Pure Strike, loved it, and out here I'm Head Speed, maybe the greatest racket of all time in my opinion. What's it?
That at the end, man.
Could be. Pricey, you played tennis before?
I'll start, a couple of times, man. Went to the Racket because Callum did as well. One day my mum was hungover as fuck, couldn't be asked me anymore, so she sent me to tennis, went into Smith's and bought me a Disney Princess racket because it was the only one that we had left. And then from there,
that probably suited you as a kid, to be fair.
Describes them well till he was
about 17. So first real racket, sort of men's racket was Babolat Aero Pro Drive GT Plus. Then I went to a Head Speed, which lasted about 3 months. I hated it. Then went back to the Aero Pro Drive, but remember when they started doing the lime green instead of the yellow and black? So that was the first year I got that. Then I was with them for a long time, coaching and stuff. Really liked it. Then realised how shit I was at tennis with it. So moved to Wilson Blades. Absolutely loved the Wilson Blades, but everyone else thinks it's like hitting with a plank of wood.
Pricey, can you tell the story quickly about the Wilson Blade and your first match back from?
Oh Christ! I'd been back at sea. I was away for 8 months. I had 3 days of playing tennis. Then I get chucked into my first ever match playing with Gary Brown. Hard enough on the soul without having played for 8 months. 2 games in, we switched ends. 1 game in, then switch, went down to the other end of the court, swung at a forehand return, and my racket flew out my hand and went into someone's garden. And I mean, this is a substantial fence. It's not like a hip height fence. It's a good 12-foot fence. And the racket was gone, and we were on the phone to people, and I'm going, no, the other rackets haven't been strung yet, and I can't use them. I need the racket. And we get pumped 3 loves. But then I went to Head Radicals, the MP edition, the Mr. Price edition, and that was the same day I bought those rackets when I was sick in my ex-girlfriend's bed and had to buy a mattress and 2 rackets, and I was about $1.50 down. So, and now I'm looking again at the new Radical. I could see a Babolat return for Callum Price very soon. Embrace the forehand, man.
Boys,
you know what? The Babolat is just beautiful.
I actually need to go. Love you.
Yeah.
Leave you.
Home time for everybody. Love you all, listeners. We're going to put a poll out on Instagram. You tell us what rackets you've got just now and what you would ever consider changing to.
Quickly. Who's winning the AusOpen?
Who's winning the AusOpen?
Alexander Zverev. Bye.
Djokovic.
Sabalenka.